All right, guys, it's urgent real-time Bitcoin forecast time. And in this episode, we're starting to look for shorts. It looks toppy once again. And I'm going to show you why. And I'm also going to show you where I told Michael Burry to close his shorts. Right now, he's like billions of dollars. No, not billions, but he's really in the hole right now. And I'm going to explain to you why with these charts behind me. Let's go. Okay, so this is the S&P 500. This is where Michael Burry shorted. This is where I told everybody that this is where Michael Burry should close his shorts. And look at what happened afterwards. We just went skyrocketing afterwards. He made a little bit of money and then lost it all. He could have gotten out here, but he didn't. The SEC filing still says his shorts are open, and he's in a world of pain right now. Except it looks like we are going to dip, but I don't think we're going to dip this far. Again, it's unknown for now. But anyway, this is right where Michael Burry started his short, and here's the big picture so you can see where we are. And the reason why we're looking toppy right about here is because we're right up at recent top. We're not quite up to recent top yet, but we don't have to be. All we need to do is encounter some resistance at the neckline of the recent top. You see here? This is a neckline right here. Doo-doo. See that? Three tops, three triangles, one triangle, two triangles, three triangles, one, two, and then three triangles right in here. So that forms a neckline. Normally what ends up happening is we enter into and go above the neckline to get rejected by about the 382, 386 Fibonacci ratio. So right about here, which is literally just about, oh, this is where I drew the, I'm going to give you this dotted line price. See this long dotted line? I'm going to give you the price for that. That is really close to right now, and it is 4574. It looks like absolute top. 4574 would give us a perfect Fibonacci top. It's also a pivot point. So I don't like pivot points because they only change once a day. Cool thing about fib lines, you can change them. They're constant throughout the day, hour, second, doesn't matter what time frame you're using. Okay, so this, and we're kind of cupping. You see how we have a cup here? We kind of have this U-shaped cup here on the S&P 500. Give it a little bit more of a pump. It's not even a pump, it's just a tick up. And then we should head straight back down because we're also forming you see this diamond pattern? Small, large, small. You see that? Small, large, small. So it's kind of like cupping. There's an oval developing here. And ovals generally mean they're diagonal reversal diamonds. Basically, that's how you can look at it. It's a diagonal reversal diamond. Okay, and what about crypto then? Let's go to crypto. Doof, here it is. Here's crypto. If you look at this, you see what I'm seeing? We're right up against resistance. There's two different resistance lines to be looking at. Here's long-term resistance that we're not quite closing in this red line here. Notice how we missed the top if we align this with this point. Why didn't I align with this? Why did I cut off this wick? Well, because if you look at the big picture, there is some, what's that word? I'm looking for that word where it's like a mirror, left and right. Anyway, this thing breaks the trend line, and then these things touch the trend line, and then so far these extreme two don't touch the trend line at all, the red trend line. So if we were to be super honest and straight-laced about this and just do the black trend line, we're consolidating over the black trend line. And most of the time, if it's a long distance, long-term resistance trend line like this, it's not so much a consolidation as it is a distribution. It's whales spending their sweet time selling, and lo and behold, we have a rising wedge with a blow-off top at the top. It's triple. In fact, I'm going to zoom into this to show you what we look like. This is the zoomed out version, and now let's do the zoomed in version to this. Voila, here's the zoomed in version. This is all of crypto, everything, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, everything. We've already got, you can count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wicks on the top side. We could consolidate and pump theoretically, but why would you pump right now when you're up against a neckline and you're super close to the top of the S&P 500? I don't see a pump coming. I see more of a dip happening first, because okay, this is an ascending trend line that we're failing to break north, and this is a descending trend line that we're failing to break north. Remember, this is the same triangle. This is the same triangle, but just zoomed in. So we're having a hard time breaking past this black line, whether it's a descending black line or whether it's an ascending black line. So looks to me like there might be some mega whale just wanting to get out of their position, and every time we get close to this zone here, they're just dumping. That would be a reasonable assumption. So now let's isolate Bitcoin and take a look at just Bitcoin itself. Ironically, if you look at Bitcoin alone, it doesn't look all that bearish. It really doesn't look all that bearish, especially because we've got kind of a right triangle here, a right angle triangle. It's a flat top. If you consider this, if we drew the trend line from here, it'd be a rising wedge slightly. But we're still kind of meandering in this range. The only thing that looks kind of bullish at this point is that we're not touching this bottom trend line again. You see this black trend line here, this one? We are just avoiding touching it here and here. So we are kind of, let me draw this for you. We are kind of slightly, I guess I'll draw it like this. We are kind of ever so slightly arching. You see that we do have a slight arch going on here that's deviating from the flat linear trend line. So, but I mean, it's such a small arch that will it continue? Will it turn into a parabola? I don't have enough evidence for that yet. And I want to see multiple touches against this line. I want to see bam, 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 bam. But by that time, obviously, price is going to be much higher. Yes, price will be much higher, but it's just not there yet. So basically what that means is that we have a lot of bearish signs, especially the S&P 500 almost at top. And we have very few bullish signs. And the tiny little bullish sign that we do have, now I'm avoiding talking about what was it, Franklin Templeton and all the S&P 500 or the stock market ETFs. I'm avoiding talking about that because you can take the news and turn it into a bullish drive type of buy the news type of news, or it could be dump the news where whales want to dump into the buying pressure of retail. It could be either or. So the news is kind of irrelevant because you don't know which it's going to be. Sometimes what they'll do is they buy a shit ton and then they pump the news and they'll say, hey, so that they can actually pump the price after they buy. Other times they'll pump the price so that they can sell. Well, how do you know which is which? You really don't. The only time you know is that when there's news about something big is going to happen. That's all you know. Well, is it bullish? Is it bearish? You don't know. All you know is that it's going to be a lot of either. It's going to be big either way. So whether it's going to go up or down, how do you know? How can you tell? Charts. Statistically, chart patterns you can start seeing. Directions start going this way or directions start going this way. Ironically enough, if you see direction going this way, it's going to go the opposite direction. So what you're looking at is if during news you see everything going up, then you need to sell. If during the news you see everything going down, then you need to buy. So all you basically have to do is don't use the news as a counter sell or trade solution. Just take the news as a long-term meaning a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months. Pivot. Just think of the news as a pivot demarcation. The news tells you when you should buy or when you should sell. That's it. The charts tell you whether you should buy or sell. If it goes up, do the opposite. If it goes down, do the opposite. And then obviously there's tons of precision that comes into that. to where you don't just buy and sell. You can do 100x leverage. You can do 500. We do 1000x leverage now at bitcoin-signals.org. You literally change your life in a couple days. It's that ridiculous. So I'll either stop broadcasting in YouTube pretty soon, or it'll be just so much fun building an army of multimillionaires through YouTube. I might just keep going. But anyway, people ask me, if you're this good at trading and you're this good at figuring out the tops and bottoms, why do you keep? Well, I mean, just to touch on that, look at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's been at this game for 60 or 70 years or something, since he was like 2 years old in the 1800s, and he's still taking clients. He's still taking investment money. Look at Elon Musk. If he's so powerful and rich, why would he make his company go public? So that he can get investors. When you get really good at making money, you don't want to do it alone. You really don't. When you get really good at money, it just gets lonely. You see yourself turning into a Mr. Scrooge, becoming an eccentric billionaire if you only make money for yourself. So the only way to do it is to get you guys to be rich with me and get rich with me. So yeah, take 70% off bitcoin-signals.org. Join right now, and this offer is only valid for 3 days. Let's make it valid for 2 days from the time of the upload of this video. So get rich, and let's start doing some high leverage wins. Let's get you rich real fast.